I'm sorry we're getting started a little late. We're too popular. It's a problem, yeah. I am so excited about directing. By the way, my name is Christine Decker. I'm the Director of Education for Oldcastle Theater Company. I'm so excited about community theater because it's a wonderful combination of people being brave enough to do something that maybe they've never even done before, or maybe they have like a little background in high school or college or something, and then they put aside their private lives and do this after working a full day, and there's such a bonding that goes on, and it's truly thrilling. Got a couple of housekeeping things. Turn off your cell phones, please. Or put them on airplane mode or stun or whatever. We have a cabaret coming up May 17th and 18th with Amy Hayes and Matt Edwards, and it's going to be fantastic. So please check it out, 17th and 18th at 7:30. There are some lovely items of jewelry for sale in the lobby, so during intermission, if you'd like, check them out. 25% of the proceeds go to benefit Oldcastle, and we need the money. So, what else do I have to say? Oh, we got an exciting season. We're starting out with Red. This is our professional theater, not to be confused with the community theater. We're starting out with Red, which is all about Mark Rothko, the painter. And then we do Brighton Beach Memoirs, a very popular Neil Simon. And then we're bringing back Judavine, which is a real local favorite. Bud Bill just recently passed away. He is the poet who wrote this collection of poetry that was then turned into a play. And it's all about the unsung heroes of northern Vermont. So I think you'll really enjoy it if you haven't heard of it already. It's a lovely play. And our final production in our professional season is Water, Water Everywhere. Eric, are you out there?
He's over there.
He's over there.
Yeah. It's written by our own producing artistic director, Eric Peterson. It's a terrific play. So we hope you come back and see our professional season as well. But right now, I want you to enjoy the dining room.
Dining room.
Oh, boy.
You see how these rooms were designed to catch the early morning light?
I'll say.
French doors, lovely garden, flowering crabs. Do you like gardening?
Used to.
Imagine having a long, leisurely breakfast in here.
As opposed to instant coffee on Eastern Airlines.
Exactly. You know this is a room after my own heart. I grew up in a dining room just like this. Same sort of furniture, everything.
So did I.
Then here we are. Welcome home.
Oh, what are they asking again?
Make an offer. I think they'll come down.
Trouble is, we'll never use this room.
Oh, now.
No, we won't. The last two houses we lived in, my wife used the dining room table to sort laundry.
Oh, dear.
Maybe you should show me something a little more contemporary.
Well, that'll mean something farther out. How long do we have to find you a home?
One day.
And how long will the corporation keep you here after we found it?
About 6 months to a year.
Then definitely. We should look farther out. But you can look at the kitchen as we leave.
Oh, you never should have shown me this first.
I thought it was something to go by.
You spoiled everything else.
Oh no, we'll find you something if we've got all day. But wasn't it a lovely room?
Oh, let's go or I'll buy it.
The dining room.
Yes,
Notice how we gravitate right to this room?
I know it.
Are you sure Mother doesn't want this stuff in Florida?
She hardly has room for what she's got. She wants us to take turns without fighting.
We'll just have to draw lots then.
Unless one of us wants something and one of us doesn't.
Well, we have to do it today.
Think that's enough time to divide up a whole house?
I have to get back, Sal. We'll draw lots and go through the rooms taking turns. Oh, here, we'll use this salt spoon. Take your pick. You get the spoon, you get the dining room.
You mean you want to start here?
You gotta start somewhere.
You mean you want the dining room?
Yeah.
What happened to the stuff you had?
Jane said it was part of the settlement.
If you win, where will you put it?
So that's my problem, Sal.
Oh, I thought you had a tiny apartment.
We'll find a place.
I mean, your children won't want it.
Probably not.
Then where on
Come
earth?
on, Sal, choose. You don't want it.
Of course I want
I
it.
mean, you already have a perfectly good dining room.
Not as good as this.
You mean you want 2 dining rooms?
I give her one stuff to Debbie.
To Debbie.
She's our oldest child.
Does Debbie want a dining room?
She might.
In a condominium.
She might.
In Denver.
She just might, Arthur.
I don't want to fight. Which hand?
Are you planning to put it in storage?
I might.
I checked on that. It costs an arm and a leg.
So does shipping it to Denver. Good morning, Annie.
I know what will happen if you win.
What?
You'll end up selling it.
Selling it?
That's what will happen. It will kick around for a little while and then you'll end up buying a furniture dealer.
I am absolutely amazed you'd say that.
I don't want to fight,
And
Arthur.
neither do I. Maybe we should defer the dining room.
Maybe we should.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Annie.
Selling the dining room. Is that what you told Mother I'd do?
I told Mother I'd give you the piano if I could have the dining room.
I'll be lucky if I can keep this spoon.
I'll give you the piano and the coffee table if I can have the dining room.
Annie,
Yes, sir.
did I detect a small seed in my orange juice yesterday morning?
I strained it, sir.
I'm sure you did, Annie. Nevertheless, I think I detected a small seed.
I'll strain it twice, sir.
Seeds can wreak havoc with the digestion.
Yes, sir.
They can take root and grow.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Daddy?
Yes, good morning, Lizzykins.
Daddy, can Charlie and me come?
Charlie and I.
Can Charlie and I come out and sit with you while you have breakfast?
You certainly may, as long as you don't lean back in your chairs and don't fight or argue.
He says we can!
I said you may, sweetheart.
Good morning, Daddy!
Morning, Dad. Here's your cream, sir.
Thank you, Annie.
You're welcome, sir. Dad,
Hmm?
when can we have fresh cream in our shredded wheat?
When you up, that's when.
I'll tell you one thing, if there's a war, none of us will be having cream. If there's a war, we'll all have to settle for top of the bottle.
Mother says she's thinking about us having dinner here with you every night.
Yes, your mother and I have been talking about that, and we both look forward to it. As long as you both sit up straight. Then I see no reason why we can't enjoy a pleasant meal together every evening.
Could we try it tonight, Dad? Could you give us a test?
Not tonight, Charlie. For tonight we're having a small dinner party. But we both look forward to you and Liz coming down and shaking hands.
But I get so shy, Dad.
Well, you'll have to learn, Lizzykins. Half of life is learning to meet new people.
What's the other half, Dad?
Was that a crack?
No, Dad.
That sounded very much like a wisecrack to me.
No, Dad, really.
That sounded like a smart aleck wisecrack to me, and people who make cracks like that don't ordinarily eat in dining rooms.
I didn't mean it as a crack, Dad.
Then we'll forget about it, and we'll continue with our breakfast.
Your car's here, Lizzie, for school.
Okay.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Annie. Goodbye, Daddy.
Now don't be late. Pay attention to the driver. Sit up straight. Work hard. Run. Goodbye.
Dad, can I read the funnies?
Oh, certainly. This won't mean anything to you, but the government is systematically ruining this country.
Miss Kelly told us about the government.
Miss Kelly?
She's my teacher, Dad.
I don't remember any Miss Kelly.
She's new, Dad.
And what has she been telling you, this Miss Kelly?
She says there's a depression going on.
I see.
People all over the country are standing in line for bread.
I see.
So the government has to step in and do something.
I see. Annie!
Yes, sir?
I'd very much like some more coffee, please.
Yes, sir.
Charlie, you tell Miss Kelly she's wrong.
Why?
I'll tell you exactly why. If the government continues to hand out money, then no one will want to work. And if no one wants to work, there'll be nobody to support such things as private school. And if there are no such private schools, then your Miss Kelly will be standing on the bread line with everyone else. Ah, thank you. You tell Miss Kelly that.
Dad, could we leave a little early today?
We'll leave at the normal time.
But I'm always late, Dad.
Nonsense.
I am, Dad. Yesterday, I had to walk to assembly while they're still singing the hymn.
A few minutes late.
Everyone looked at me, Dad.
You tell everyone to concentrate on that hymn.
I can't, Dad.
It's the new stoplight on Richmond Avenue. It affects our time.
It's not just the new stoplight, Dad. Sometimes I walk in when they're doing the arithmetic tape. Miss Kelly says I should learn to be punctual.
Miss Kelly again, eh?
She says if everyone's late, no one's going to learn mathematics.
Now, Charlie, listen to me. Miss Kelly may be an excellent teacher. Her factoring may be flawless, her geography beyond question. But Miss Kelly does not teach us politics, nor does she tell us how to run our lives. She is not going to tell you, or me, to get up in the middle of a pleasant breakfast, to try to beat the bulk of the morning traffic, just to arrive on time for some silly hymn. Charlie, long after you've forgotten factoring, long after you've forgotten that hymn, long after you've forgotten this Miss Kelly, you'll remember the pleasant breakfasts around this dining room table. And here's your mother to prove it.
Good morning, dear. Good morning, Charlie.
I know some people who rise when a beautiful woman enters the room.
It's all right, dear.
I also know some people who rush to push in their mother's chair.
Thank you, dear.
And I also know some people who will rush to hand their mother the second section of the morning paper.
Here, Mom.
Thank you, dear.
Now, Charlie, take a moment, if you will, to look at your mother, bathed in the morning sunlight, her reflection on the dining room table.
Oh, Russell.
And ask yourself, Charlie, which is more worthy of our attention? Your mother or Miss Kelly?
Who is Miss Kelly?
Never mind, dear. Which Charlie?
My mother.
Good. Now, before you and I go, I think we need to make a small trip upstairs. Good.
Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Mrs. Tell her I'll have poached eggs this morning, please, Annie. Yes, Mrs.
Hey,
Oh, I thought you'd gone.
I forgot my briefcase. What's going on?
I have to get this term paper done.
In here?
Where else?
You're going to type.
Of course I'm going to type.
In here. At that table.
Why not?
You're going to sit there. Bang the typewriter on my family's dining room table.
Why not?
Because it wasn't designed for it, that's why.
Howard,
Lucky I came back. Next thing you know, you'll be feeding the dog off the low-stuff china.
it's got rubber pads under it. I checked. And I'll get something else if you want.
You're not going to use those placemats.
I thought I would, yes.
Those are good placemats.
We haven't used them in 10 years.
They're extremely good placemats, Ellie. Mother got those from Italy.
All right. I'll use these then. Mind if I use these? We put pots on them. We could certainly put a typewriter.
Yes, Mrs.? Annie, I was wondering if something might have happened to my poached eggs.
Irma's making 2 more, Mrs.
2 more?
The first one slid off the plate while she was buttering the toast.
Has she been drinking again, Annie?
No, Mrs.
Tell me the truth.
I don't think so, Mrs.
I'm gonna check myself. Simple question, 2 poached eggs. Honestly, Annie, sometimes I think we might almost be better if we just did things ourselves.
Yes, Mrs.
Don't you have a plane to catch? It's kind of hard to work when your husband is hovering over you like a helicopter.
Well, it's kind of hard to leave when your wife is systematically mutilating the dining room table.
I'll be careful, Howard. I swear. Now goodbye.
Couldn't you please work somewhere else?
I'd like to know where, please.
What's wrong with the kitchen table?
It doesn't work, Howard. Last time the kids got peanut butter all over my footnotes.
I can set the bridge table in the living room.
I just have to move whenever you and the boys wanted to watch a football game.
You mean you're gonna leave all that stuff there?
I thought I would, yes.
All that shit all over the dining room?
It's a term paper, Howard. It's crucial for my degree.
You mean you're gonna commandeer the dining room for the rest of the term?
It just sits here, Howard. It's never used.
Well, what if we want to give a dinner party?
Since when have we given a dinner party?
Well, what if we want a few people over, for Christ's sake?
We can eat in the kitchen.
Oh, Jesus!
Everybody does these days.
It doesn't make it right.
Let me get this done, Howard. Let me get a good grade and my master's degree and a good job so I can be out of here every day.
Fine. What the hell? Then why don't I turn it into a tool room every night?
Why did Jeff Mildred wake me up, Mother?
Let me finish this grocery list first.
I mean, it's Saturday, Mother.
There. I know it's Saturday, dear, and I apologize, but something's come up and I need you to make a little decision.
What decision?
Start your breakfast, dear. No one can think on an empty stomach. Now, guess who telephoned this morning?
Who?
Your Aunt Martha.
I love her.
So do I. But the poor dear doesn't have enough to do, so she was on the telephone at the crack of dawn.
What did you want?
Well, now here's the thing. She has an extra ticket to the theater tonight, and she'd like you to join her.
Oh, sure.
Wait until I finish, dear. I told her it was your decision, of course, but I thought you had other plans.
What other plans?
Think about it. Isn't there something rather special happening in your life this evening?
Oh,
Am I right or am I right?
dancing school.
Shit! Not just dancing school, it's the first day of the junior assemblies, which is a big step beyond dancing school.
I can't work in this place. It's like a tomb.
I told your Aunt Martha you'd call her right up so that she could drum up someone else.
I thought it was my decision.
It is, sweetheart, of course.
Then I'd like to go see the play with Aunt Martha.
Carolyn, I wonder if you're being a little impulsive this morning. You don't even know what the play is.
What is it then?
Well, it happens to be a very talky play called St. Joan.
Oh, we read it in school. I want to go all the more.
It's the Road Company, Carolyn. It doesn't even have Catherine Cornell.
I'd still like to go.
To some endless play with your maiden aunt?
She's my favorite person.
Fine. Go ahead. It's that important to you.
Call her right now.
But you do realize, Carolyn, that on the first day of junior assemblies is when everyone gets acquainted.
Really?
Oh, heavens, yes. It starts the whole thing off on the right foot.
I didn't know that.
It's like missing the first day of school. You never catch up.
Oh, gosh.
You see why we shouldn't make hasty decisions.
Then maybe I won't go at all.
What do you mean?
Maybe I'll go skip all of the junior assemblies.
Oh, Carolyn,
I don't like dancing school anyway.
don't be silly.
I don't. I never did. I'm bigger than half the boys, and I never know what to say, and I'm a terrible dancer. Last year, I spent half the time in the ladies' room.
That's nonsense.
It's true, Mother. I don't know, I have to go. St. Joan wouldn't go to dancing school in a million years.
Yes, and look at what happened to St. Joan.
I don't care. I've made up my mind.
It looks like your Aunt Martha has caused a little trouble around here this morning.
Maybe.
It looks like your Aunt Martha has opened up a whole can of worms.
Well, I'm glad she did.
Okay, and how do you propose to spend your other Saturday nights? I mean, when there's no Aunt Martha, and there's no St. Joan, and all your friends are having the time of their lives at junior assemblies.
I'll do something.
Such as what? Hang around here, listening to that stupid hit parade? Growling maids and on while we're trying to plan a dinner?
I'll do something, Mother.
Well, you're obviously not old enough to make an intelligent decision.
I knew you wouldn't let me decide.
All right, then, decide.
I'd like
But
to go.
before you do, Carol, let me tell you a very short story about your dear Aunt Martha. So it's just about your age when she too made a little decision. She decided, if you breathe a word of this, I will strangle you. She decided that she was in love with her riding master. So she threw everything up and ran off with her to Taos, New Mexico, where your father had to drag her down, track her down and drag her back. But it was too late, Carolyn. She had become overstimulated. And from that point on, she refused to join the workday world. So that's it, in a nutshell. So think about that while I am ordering the groceries and decide.
I decided, Mother.
Good, I hope you've come to your senses.
I decided to call Aunt Martha.
Carolyn, you have a dentist appointment. You have riding lessons at noon. No, we will skip the riding lessons. Carolyn! Carolyn!
Michael, you scared me out of my skin.
I wanted to.
Your mother said you were sick this morning.
I was. I am.
So sick you couldn't go to school.
I am, Aggie. I out-trucked twice.
Well, then you get right straight back to bed.
How come you haven't done my room yet?
Because I thought you were sleeping.
I was just lying there, Aggie, waiting.
Well, I got more to do now since Ida left. I got the silver in the downstairs lavatory and all the beds beside it.
My mother says you want to leave us.
Well, when did she say that?
Last Thursday, on your day off, when she was cooking dinner. She says now that there's a war, you're looking for a job with more money. Is that true, Ag?
Maybe.
Well, money isn't everything, Aggie.
Listen to him now.
You can be rich as a king and still be miserable. Look at my Uncle Paul. He's rich as creases, and yet he's drinking himself to oblivion.
What do you know about all that?
I know lots. I eat in the dining room now, and I listen. And I know my Uncle Paul is drinking himself to oblivion, and Miss Williams has take yours.
Here now, you stop that talk.
Well, it's true, Ag, and it proves that money isn't everything. So you don't have to leave.
It's not just the money, darling.
And what is it, Ag? Don't you like us anymore?
Oh, Michael.
Don't you like our family?
Mikey?
Are you still mad at me for peeking at you in the bathtub?
That's enough now.
What is it, Ag? How come you're just leaving?
Because I don't want to do domestic service no more.
Why?
Because I don't like it no more, Mike.
It's because Ida left and you have so much to do.
No, darling.
I'll help you, Ag, I swear. I'll make up my bed, I'll pick up my towel, I'll be more careful when I pee.
You mad?
No, really. I'll tell my parents not to have so many dinner parties. I'll tell them to give you some time off. I'll tell you to go all day Sunday.
No, darling, no.
I'm serious, Ag.
I know, darling, I know.
Okay, let's measure it out then.
When are you leaving then, Ag?
As soon as your mother finds someone else.
She can't find anyone, Aggie.
Well, she will, she will.
She says she can't. They're always showing her with 30 fingernails and dyed hair.
24 feet, 6 inches.
Fine room, big room.
You gotta sit, Ag. You can't leave people in the lurch.
And look at these French doors.
I'm looking, and I'm thinking about heat loss.
I'll stay till you go away for the summer.
8 feet, 2 inches.
You're gonna get married then, aren't you, Ag?
Maybe,
To that guy you told me about from church?
maybe.
You gonna have any children? You will, I know you will. You're gonna have a boy of your own.
Hold it tight now.
You can come back and see us.
Oh my, yes.
No, you won't, Ag.
You will, surely.
You'll never come back. I'll never see you again, ever.
23 and a half feet. Come here, Michael.
No,
Come give Aggie a big hug.
no. Why should I? No,
Just a squeeze for old time's sake.
no. Hug your own kids, Agnes. I got so much work to do. I got a whole stack of homework. I'm missing the whole day in school.
Well, there's your dining room, Doctor.
There it is.
Big room, light room, commodious room,
One of the reasons we bought the house.
and one of the reasons we should consider breaking it up.
Breaking it up.
Now, bear with me. What say we turn this into an office for you and a waiting area for your patients?
I thought we planned to open up the maids' rooms on the 3rd floor.
Oh, hold on, relax. The patient trusts the psychiatrist, right? So why can't the psychiatrist trust the architect? Now, here is the ground floor of your house. And then here's what you're stuck with at the moment. And here, with these approximate dimensions, is your dining room.
I see.
Just suppose we start with a clean slate. Say we clear this out here. We throw a beam up here. We break through here and here. Blast out that. Throw out this. And what do you have?
I'm not quite sure.
Well, what you don't have is a dining room anymore. That's what you don't have.
And where would we eat?
Here, right here, I'm putting it in an eating area. See? Here's the fridge, the cooking units, the Cuisinart, the butcher block table, the chrome chairs. Look at the space, the flow. Look, the husband cooks, the kids set the dishes, you stack them up right here. Democracy at work in your own home. Let's review your day. You come down for breakfast. Everybody's fixing his or her own thing. Eggs, cornflakes, Pop-Tarts, whatever. You eat, you chat, you read the paper. You say goodbye and you step into your office. Now, do you have a nurse or a receptionist?
No, just a humble shrink.
Okay, then you come over to the waiting room and maybe arrange the magazines on the table. Maybe throw your newspaper on top of the pile. And then you step through soundproof doors into your office. You turn on the stereo console here, you grab a book from the wall unit here, and then you settle in behind your desk module here. You sit, you read, you listen to music. Soon, buzz, patient arrives. You turn off the music, set aside your book, and buzz him in through the soundproof doors. And then he comes and flops himself here, on the couch. He tells you his dreams. You look out the window. Soon he leaves, you write him up a bill. Another patient arrives, and soon it's time for lunch. You go in there, have lunch with the husband, maybe one of the kids, and then stroll back in here to take a nap. Soon more buzzes, more patients, and then it's time for a nice, easy, cooperative dinner with the family.
But not in the living room.
No, not here.
This room has such resonance.
So does a church, but it doesn't mean we have to live in it. Look, I know whereof I speak. I grew up in a room just like this.
Oh, yes?
Yes, this is home turf to me.
Really?
My father sat in a chair just like this. My mother sat here. My sister sat here. And I sat right here. Oh, it's all coming back to me now.
Would you like to tell me about it?
That's all. Those endless meals, waiting to begin, waiting for dessert, waiting for it to be over with so they would just stop leaning on you.
Was it that bad?
It was brutal. I remember this one time, I came down to the table and I didn't wash my hands. And my father,
Go on.
never mind, Katya. The point is, it's time to get rid of this room. To tell you frankly, I am tired of screwing around with maids' rooms. I could do that in my sleep. What I want is a chance to ground floor. What do you say, Doctor?
Well, I'll have to think about it.
Fine. Take your time. Tell you what, I'll send you a bill for my work that I've done so far.
Good. And I'll send you mine.
All right, children, we're ready. Children, this is nothing wrong. We have something to do. All right, now we go to the kitchen and tell Roberta to put away all the ice cream and cake. That's better. Now I want you to leave the table quietly, go out, turn around, and come back in the right way. That's right. Go out, turn around, and come back in like you're your mummies and daddies having a lovely dinner party. Come on, come on. No, Winky should go first. It's her birthday. She's the hostess. Oh, good. Now, Winky, you should sit at the head of the table. Good. No, Billy, you should sit next to Winky. It should be boy, girl, boy, girl. Now, what do we do with our napkins? We unfold them and we tuck them under our chin. Now we put on our party hats.
Can the boys wear their party hats in the house?
Yes, they can, Brewster, because this is a special occasion. And sometimes on special occasions, you can break some of the rules. Sometimes, some of the rules.
There's my daddy.
Where? Hi.
Yay.
Hi, Bill.
What brings you here?
To pick up Bill.
I thought Judy was doing that.
She told me to pick him up.
Well, you're a little early. We haven't even had our cake yet.
She told me to be early.
Yeah, I can't get ready to work.
Help her, Brewster. Little boys should help little girls.
Where's Frank?
Playing golf. Where are you?
On Winky's birthday.
Don't get me started, please.
Can we have ice cream now, please?
In a minute, sweetheart, be patient. Then you have something to look forward to.
You know, Judy must have known he'd be playing golf.
Judy knows everything.
She knows about us at least.
About us? How?
She said she could tell by the way we behaved.
Behave where?
At the Bromwell's dinner party.
We hardly spoke to each other.
That's how she could tell. She said she'd fight it tooth and nail.
Like what? We haven't done anything.
She wants to nip it in the bud.
Now, Roberta is very busy in the kitchen because she also has a dinner party tonight. So, who would like to help bring the Billy, you bring out the ice cream, and Sandra, you bring out the cake. Careful, walk, don't run. And be nice to Roberta. She's very busy. And the rest of you, you'll have responsibilities too. For instance, Brewster. When Billy and Sandra return from the kitchen, what will you do?
Sing the song?
Yes, very good. So now I want you to sit quietly, watch that door, and when they come out, start singing. So what do we do?
She's thinking of telling her father.
Her father.
He'd fire me immediately.
What if he did?
I'd be out of a job, Peggy.
You could get another one.
Where? Doing what?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Billy. Happy birthday to you.
Wait. You need to make a wish. And Mummy needs to make a wish. See, Mummy's taking off her wedding ring and putting away around one of the candles. And now we'll both close our eyes and make a wish.
I wish.
No! Don't tell. Never tell. If you tell a wish, it won't come true. Now, blood. Now, Winky, would you cut the cake and make sure everybody gets a piece? And Brewster, you pass up next.
What'd you wish for?
Won't tell.
Think it'll come true?
No.
She'd make it so messy for everyone.
Judy?
She'd make it impossible.
So would Frank.
I thought you said Frank didn't care.
He cares who's messy.
We could move.
can go where?
Wherever I get another job.
Yes.
I have an uncle that lives in Syracuse.
Syracuse.
We could move there.
Isn't nice. Syracuse.
I think it's on some lake.
Syracuse.
You'd have Winky. I'd get Bill in the summertime.
In Syracuse.
Maybe at least we'd be free.
Winky, wipe your mouth.
Billy,
What?
would you come here, please? Son, do you have to go to the bathroom?
No.
Then stop doing that.
Doing what?
You know what? Go back and enjoy yourself. Sorry.
I grew up here
Who didn't?
to just pick up sticks.
I know.
I mean, this is where I live.
Me too. We'll just have to behave ourselves then.
Oh, Ted,
Good little children.
I can't stand it.
And if we're seated next to each other, we'll have to make a conscious effort.
Oh, we won't be seated next to each other. Judy will see to that.
For a little while anyway.
For quite a while.
Everyone's finished, Mommy.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And here's your ring from the cake.
Good for you, darling. I forgot all about that.
Time to go then.
I planned some games.
Want me to stay?
It would help.
Then I'll stay.
All right, children, into the living room for some games.
What games?
All sorts of games. Blind man's bluff, pin the tail on the toe.
I'll get him started.
Would you like to shave Roberta?
I'll be the donkey. I'll be, yes.
Stop or I'll scream.
Come on, Mommy. We're waiting.
We're coming, dear.
Grandpa?
What are you?
I'm Nick, Grandpa.
What do you want?
To have lunch with you.
Then you're late.
I went down to the club.
Who said I'd be down at the club?
My parents said you always eat there.
Well, lately I've been coming home.
Yes, sir.
Don't know half the people at the club anymore. I'd rather be here at my own table. Dora takes care of me, don't you, Dora?
Yes, sir.
Well, you tracked me down. That shows some enterprise. And bring us some lunch, Dora.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Grandpa.
So you're Nick, eh?
Yes, I am.
You the one who wants to go to Europe this summer?
No, that's my cousin Mary.
You're the one who wants the automobile, since he can't go to college without an automobile.
That's my brother Tony, Grandpa.
Then what do you want?
Oh, I really don't want anything.
Oh, no, anyone who sits down with me wants something. Usually it's money. You want money?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For what?
My education, Grandpa.
Education, eh? Well, that's a good thing. Or it can be. Doesn't have to be. It can be a bad thing. Where do you want to get educated?
St. Luke's School in Litchfield, Connecticut.
Never heard of it.
It's an excellent boarding school for boys.
Is it Catholic?
I don't think so.
Sounds Catholic to me.
I think it's high Episcopalian.
Oh, then it's expensive.
My parents think it's a first-rate school.
What do your parents think?
They discussed all the boarding schools and decided that it's the best.
They decided, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then they decided that you should get your grandfather to pay for it.
Yes, sir.
And another one leaving the nest, Dora.
Yes, sir.
You're taking a piece of the nest egg.
Yes.
Well, why don't you stay home?
Me?
You.
Oh. Because I want to broaden myself.
You want to what?
Well, I want to broaden my horizons. My horizons need broadening.
I see.
And I'll meet interesting new friends.
Well, don't you have interesting friends right here?
Oh, sure, Grandpa.
I do. I have interesting friends right here. Why, I know a man who makes boats in his basement.
But
I know a man who plays golf with his wife.
But I'll meet all different types, Grandpa. From all over the country. California, New York.
Why would you want to meet anyone from New York?
Oh, they're more sophisticated, Grandpa. They'll buff me up.
Hell, what?
My mother says I need buffing up.
Do you think he needs buffing up, Dora?
No, sir.
Dora doesn't think you need buffing up. I don't think you need buffing up. You'll have to give us better reasons.
They have advanced Latin there.
I see. And?
And an indoor hockey rink.
Oh, yes. And?
Beautiful grounds and surroundings.
Well, don't we? Don't we have beautiful surroundings? Why do we always have to go away to get beautiful surroundings?
Well, I don't know. All I know is everyone's going away these days.
Oh, everyone's going away. Hear that, Dora? Everyone's going away.
Well, an awful lot of people are going away.
I didn't go away.
I know, Grandpa.
I didn't even go to Country Day. I went to the old PS 36 down on Huron Street.
Yes, Grandpa.
Didn't finish either. Father died, and I had to go to work. I had to support my mother.
I know that, Grandpa.
My father, he didn't go to school at all. He learned Greek at the plow.
You told us that, Grandpa.
And I didn't do too badly either. Without a high Episcopal boarding school with an indoor hockey rink.
But you're a self-made man, Grandpa.
Is that what I am? And what are you? Don't you want to be self-made? You want other people to make you. Huh? What do you got to say to that?
I don't know.
Now, oh, everyone wants to go away. Me? I went away twice. I took 2 vacations in my life. First vacation, I took a week off from work to marry your grandmother. Oh. I went to Hot Springs, Virginia. I bought this table. Second vacation, Europe, 1928. Again, with your grandmother. Hated the place. Knew it would. Miserable meals. I brought a trunk load of shredded wheat along. Came back when it was gone. Back to this table. Oh, Dora, they're scattering like birds.
Yes, sir.
We're small potatoes these days.
Yes, sir.
This one wants to go to one of those fancy New England boarding schools and play ice hockey indoors with that crowd from Long Island and Philadelphia. Well, he'll come back talking with marbles in his mouth. We won't understand. Dora? We won't see much of him, Dora. He'll take vacations in New York and Baltimore. He'll drink liquor in the afternoon. Get mixed up with those women who wear lipstick and trousers and whose only thought is the next dance. And then he'll expect me to pay for it. Am I right?
No, Grandpa. No, I don't want to go. I've never wanted to go, really. I want to stay here with all of you.
Finish your greens. They're good for the lower intestines. go. You've got to go. I'll send you to St. Hoosie's, Betsy to Miss Watsy's, and young Andy can go to whatever it's called. Mary can go to Europe. Tony can have the car. And it's all fine and dandy. Go on, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Leave town, travel. See the world, it's bound to happen. You know who's gonna be sitting there when you get back. I'll tell you. I'll tell you who'll be sitting right in that chair. Some Irish fellow. Some Jewish gentleman will be sitting at that table saying the same thing that his grandson and your grandson. He'll be back at the plow. Come to think of it, that won't be a bad thing either.
Well, go on and bring him his checkbook before he falls asleep.
What do you think?
You're in trouble.
Oh dear, I knew it.
It's becoming unglued,
I know the feeling.
becoming a part of the seams.
Do you think it's hopeless?
Well, let me check the tape.
It shakes very badly. I had a few friends over the other night, and every time we tried to cut our chicken, our water glasses started tinkling frantically, and the chairs creaked and groaned. It was like having dinner at Pompeii.
I'll just check the joints here.
It's all very sad how things run down and fall apart. I used to tell my husband, my ex-husband, we have such lovely old things. We should oil them, we should wax them, and we should keep them up. But of course, I couldn't do everything, and he wouldn't do anything. And now here you are to give us the coup de grace.
Hey, look at this.
What?
Look under here.
I don't dare.
No, I'm serious, look.
Wait till I put on my glasses. Where? I can't see.
Under here, look. This support. You see how loose this is?
I can't quite. Wait.
Come on.
All right.
See? Look at this support.
I see it wiggles like mad.
And look over there. I'll have to put a whole new piece in over here.
I see.
And, excuse me, please. This pedestal is loose. Probably needs a new dowel. I'll have to ream it out and put in another.
You think so?
Oh, sure. In fact, your whole dining room needs to be re-screwed, re-glued, and renewed.
Huh.
What's the matter?
I've never been under a table before.
Oh, yeah?
It's all just wood under here, isn't it?
That's all it is.
I mean, you think a dining room table was something special, but it isn't underneath, it's all just wood. Just a couple of big, wide boards.
That's right.
Oh, hey, what's this here?
What's what?
You'll have to come back under the seat. There's some writing burned into the wood.
Oh, where?
Right here. Freeman's Furniture, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, 1898.
Oh, that's the manufacturer's mark.
1898?
Well, that's what it said.
Well, that's not so old.
Well, not if it was made in 1898.
It's not old at all. It's not even an antique. It's just American.
There's a lot of these around. They used to crank them out at the end of the 19th century.
Well, aren't I dumb? For years we've been thinking it's terribly valuable.
Well, it is, in a sense. It's well made. It's a solid, serviceable copy, based on the English.
Well, I'll be darned. You learn something every day. You know a lot about furniture, don't you?
I'm beginning to.
Beginning to. I bet your father was a cabinet maker or something.
My father was a banker,
A banker?
and I was a stockbroker until I got into this.
I don't believe it.
Oh, sure. I decided I wanted to see what I was doing, and touch it, and see the results, so I took up carpentry.
I am amazed. I I mean, I know some stockbrokers. Is this the support that's bad?
That's the one.
Well, why don't we put a nail in there?
Not a nail, a screw.
All right, and another one over here, or some household cement.
Well, they do have these epoxy glues now.
All right, and maybe we could cram a matchbook or something up in here.
Not a matchbook.
A wedge then, a wooden wedge.
That's a good idea.
See, I can do it too. So, well, will you be taking the table away, or could you fix it here?
I can fix it here, if you want.
That might make more sense. My husband used to ask for written estimates, materials and labor.
All right.
Suppose I helped on the labor.
I've never worked that way.
I should learn. I shouldn't be so helpless.
Okay, why not?
Besides, it's not an antique. If I make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, is it?
Not at all.
When can we start?
Today. Now, if you want.
Then we're a partnership, aren't we? We should have a drink to celebrate.
Okay.
What do we have? Something snappy like a martini?
No, I gave those up with the stock market. How about a beer?
Fine idea. Good solid beer. If I've got it.
I've got the plates, Mrs. Driscoll. You've got your hands full with that turkey.
Come to God's own temple, come, raise the song.
We're ready, everybody. Come on in.
Now, Mother, I'd like you to sit next to me. Fred, you sit on the other side. Ben, sit across from her where she can see you. Nancy and Beth, you hold up that end of the table. And there we are. What's the matter, Mother?
I'm not sure. I know where I am.
Mother, you're home. This is your dining room and table and chairs. Here's the china you got on your trip to England and the silver-handed carving knife that Father used to use.
Oh, yeah. But who are all these people? I don't know who these people are.
It's me, Mother, Stuart, your son. And here's Fred and Ben and Nancy and Beth. We're all here, Mother.
I'll get the turkey. That may help her focus.
And Mrs. Driscoll. Mrs. Driscoll's in the kitchen just as always. And your grandchildren. They ate earlier at the children's table, and now they're in the backyard playing touch football. You watch them, Mother.
Yes.
And here's Nancy with the turkey. Put it here, Nancy. And Mother, I'm going to cut you a small bit of the breast and a dab of dressing, just as always.
Just as always.
And Fred, you get that drumstick, right? Beth gets the wishbone, and Ben, of course, gets the Pope's nose.
Save some for Mrs. Driscoll.
I always do, Nance. Mrs. Driscoll likes that second joint.
Well, that's all very nice. But I'd like to go home now.
You are home, Mother. We've lived here 52 years.
54.
Forever.
Ben, pass that plate to Mother, please.
Thank you. That's very nice. But I'd really like to go home. Could someone drive me home, please? I live at 18 Summer Street with my mother and sisters.
What will we do?
It's not there anymore, Mother. There's a big building there now. We drove down and looked at it.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much for having me. It was lovely. Thank you very much. It was lovely.
Mother, it's me, Fred, your son.
That's very nice. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Quickly, let's sing to her.
Sing?
She likes singing. We used to sing to her whenever she get upset. Fred, Ben, come on, quickly.
Now, you know what? Now I can't find my gloves. I don't know where they are. Where could they be? I can't go out without my gloves.
What song?
And my hat.
Sure you do. As the blackbird in the spring, 'neath the willow tree, sad and piped I heard him sing, sing of Oralee. Oralee, Oralee, made of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air.
I love music. Every member of my family plays a different instrument.
Quickly, second verse is coming around. 2, 3, 4. In thy blush the rose was born, music when you spake. Through thine azure eye the morn sparkling seemed to break. Oralee, Oralee, made of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, as swallows in the air.
That was lovely.
Thank you, Mother.
And now I really do have to go. You know what? I can't find my gloves. My hat. Where could they be? Where could my hat and gloves be? I don't know where they are.
It's okay, Mother. Fred Ben will just have to take her down there.
You know what? I don't know where my hat and gloves are. I don't know where my hat and gloves are. Where could they be? You know, I just wanted to say goodbye to everybody.
Let's just
Show.
I'll take her down there and show her everything.
Bring the car around.
No,
And I'm coming too.
Come on, Mother. It's okay.
no. Where are we going?
It's okay, Mother. Come on.
You know what? I want you to call. I want you to call for my carriage. Please. Yes. I want you to call for my carriage. And what else do I want you to do?
It's okay, Mother. Let's go.
No.
It's okay. Come on, dear.
I need to call for my carriage, and, I need to have someone find my hat and gloves. You know, it's getting very late, and my mother gets very nervous if I'm not there in time. If I'm not there in time for tea.
God bless you, Mother.
That was scary. I know it. I suddenly feel so precarious.
It could happen to us all.
No, but it's as if we didn't even exist. As if we were all just ghosts or something. Even her own sons. She walked right by them.
And guess who walked right by us?
Yes. You know what I'd like?
What?
A good stiff drink.
I'm with you.
I bet Mrs. Driscoll could use a drink too.
Bet she could.
Let's go ask her.
Mrs. Driscoll.
Yes, let's. All right. We'll have a drink with Mrs. Driscoll and then dig into that turkey, help with the dishes, and then figure out how to get through the rest of the goddamn day.
Mom! Anybody home? See? I told you. She isn't here.
Where is she?
She works at a boutique 4 days a week. And my father's away on business in Atlanta or Denver or somewhere. Anyway, come on. I'll show you where to meet the Laker.
My mom is always there when I get home from school. Always.
Bummer.
And if she isn't, my grandmother comes in.
Oh, the liquor's in the pantry.
Oh, hey, Nito.
What?
This room.
Oh, that's the dining room.
I know, but it's viciously nice.
Which would you prefer, gin or vodka?
You decide.
Well, there's more gin, so less chance they'll notice.
Gin then.
But the reason there's more gin is that I put water in it last week.
5%.
I'll tell you what, we'll mix in a little of both.
Okay. Do you use this room?
Oh, sure.
Special occasions, huh? When the relatives come to visit?
Every night.
Every night.
Well, every night they're both home.
Really?
Oh, sure. Whenever they're home, my father insists that we all eat dinner in the dining room at 7 o'clock. Here, gin and vodka and Fresca. Boys
It must be nice eating in here.
Oh, sure, you bet. First, we have to lug things out, and then we lug them back, and no one can begin until everything is cold, and we're supposed to carry on a decent conversation, and everyone has to finish before anyone can get up, and it sucks. It sucks out loud.
We eat in the kitchen.
Can you watch TV while you eat?
We used to. We used to watch the local news and weather.
That's something. At least you don't have to talk.
But now we can't watch it. My mother read in Family Circle that TV is bad at meals. So now we turn on the stereo and listen to semi-classical music.
My parents said they tried eating in the kitchen when I went to boarding school. So when I got kicked out, we moved back in here. It's supposed to give me some sense of stability.
Do you think it does?
Shit, no. It just makes me nervous. They take the telephone off the hook so no one can call. And my brother gets itchy about his homework. And when my sister had anorexia, she had to sit here and wash for God's sake. And my parents spend most of the meal bitching, and it bites Helen. Really bites. Bites the big one. Do you want another?
No, thanks.
I do. You call the boys. Tell them it's all clear.
Sarah,
What?
when the boys come over, can we have our drinks in here?
In the dining room?
I mean, wouldn't it be cool sitting around this big shiny table with Eddie and Dwayne drinking vodka and Fresca and gin?
No way. Absolutely no way. In here, I get a little tight in here now. Now come on, let's call them. Having boys in the dining room. Jesus, Helen. Really are with it sometimes.
I'm in here, Gordon. I made tea. Tea.
Why tea?
Because I like it. I love it. Or would you rather have a drink?
No thanks.
Go ahead. Don't worry about me. I'm all over that now.
No.
We even have it in the house and I never touch it.
No thanks, Kate.
Then have tea. It's very good. It's Earl Grey.
I really ought to be getting back.
Gordon, have tea.
All right.
Thank you.
Tea in the dining room.
Where else? Or should we huddle guiltily over the kitchen table?
Oh, no.
Then tea in the dining room. What would you like, lemon or milk?
What?
Gordon,
Milk? No sugar.
milk please. Well, sit down, for heaven's sake.
Thought I heard a sound.
Oh, really? And what sound did you hear? A distant lawnmower? A faulty burglar alarm?
Thought I heard a car.
What? A car? On this godforsaken street? Should we rush to the window, cheer, wave flags?
Go easy, Kate.
Well, I doubt very much you heard a car.
It stopped.
The sound?
Oh, the car. The car stopped.
All right. So you heard a car stop. But it's not Ed's car, is it? Because Ed, as you and I well know, is in Amsterdam or Rotterdam or who gives a damn until next Tuesday. Now sit down, please. Let's have tea, for heaven's sake. When can we meet again?
I heard a car door slam.
Oh, really? That's because cars have doors. And when they get really frustrated, people feel like slamming them.
I'm going.
Oh, I see how it is. A quick tumble with the bored wife of your best friend.
There's someone at the door.
No.
Yes. Someone with keys.
Now you've got to stay.
Mom,
Oh, Lord, help us.
I'm home, Mom.
Now you've got to have tea.
Mom?
We're in the dining room, dear. Darling, how'd you get here?
I took a cab from the bus station.
You look marvelous, taller than ever. Say hello to your Uncle Gordon.
Hi, Chris. Welcome home.
Hi.
Is this what they teach you at Deerfield? Not to shake hands, not to call people by name?
Hello, Uncle Gordon.
Hi, Chris.
But what brings you home, my love? I expected you Saturday.
I got honors.
Honors.
You get 2 days early if you get an over 85 average.
Then you should have telephoned.
I wanted to surprise you.
I ought to go.
Nonsense! Have more tea. I was taking a nap and Gordon stopped by and we decided we'd have tea. Have some tea, Chris? Or would you like a Coke? Have a Coke? Or how about a beer? How about a beer for a big boy who gets honors?
No thanks.
I really ought to go.
Then you won't have more tea?
Oh, no, can't. Sorry.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye.
Well, he wanted to talk about stocks. I inherited some stocks that he thinks I should sell, and so...
Where's Dad?
He's in Europe, darling, as I think I wrote you.
Oh, Mom.
What does that mean, please? Oh, Mom? It's like, really, what that means. I happen to be having tea, Christopher. It happens to be a very old custom. Your grandmother used to have tea at this very table with this same china every afternoon. All sorts of people would stop by, all the time. I'd come home from school and there she'd be, serving tea. It's a delightful old custom, sweetheart. Where are you going? I asked you a question, please. We don't just walk away. Chris, I am talking to you, and I'm your mother, and the least you can do is... Chris!
Would you mind setting up over here, Aunt Harriet? I want to get you the late afternoon lights.
Certainly, Tony. Now, I decided to do the Irish linen placemat with a matching napkin. I got them from my husband, who was your great uncle. He inherited them from his sister. They should be washed and ironed by hand after every use. And the Silva from your great grandmother. 3-pronged fork. Twist and handle knife. Spoon with a wrap tail about. All Williamsburg pattern. They should be polished, every 2 weeks. And then this is the Staffordshire. Along with the butter plate, all bone. The glassware is early Stuart, except for the finger bowls and goblets, which are Waterford. None of this goes into the dishwasher. It's far too delicate for detergent.
Finger bowls?
Oh my, yes, my side of the family always used finger bowls between the salad and the dessert.
Would you show me how they worked?
Certainly. The maid would come and take the plate like this. Take the finger bowl and place it like this. It'd be filled halfway with cool water. There would be a little single rose or a sliver of lemon floating. Naturally, our napkin would be on our lap like this. And then we dip our fingers in gently wiggling them around. Then we shake them off, dab our fingers on our napkins, and then we dab our lips. And the maid would take it away, and in would come a lovely sherbet or a lovely chocolate mousse.
Thanks, Aunt Harriet. That was terrific.
You're welcome. Now, Tony dear, what is this for again? I didn't quite understand it on the telephone.
Oh, this is a classroom project for Amherst
Classroom project. And what, pray tell?
in anthropology, actually.
Heavens! What does that have to do with all this?
Well, you see, lately we've been studying the eating habits of various vanishing cultures. For example, someone is talking about the Kikiyus of northern Kenya, and my roommate was doing the Cree Indians of Saskatchewan, and my professor suggested I do a slideshow on us,
Us?
the wasps, of northeastern United States.
I see.
You can learn a lot about a culture from how it eats.
Such as what?
Well, consider the finger bowls, for example. There you have an almost neurotic obsession with cleanliness, reflecting the guilt which comes with the last stages of capitalism. Or notice the unnecessary accumulation of glassware in China and the compulsion to display it, or the subtle hint of aggression in those crystal-handled knives.
I think I'll ask you to leave now, Tony.
Aunt Harriet?
I was going to invite you to stay for a cocktail, but now I won't.
Please, Aunt Harriet.
Out right this minute before I telephone your mother long distance. Vanish and culture my eye. I forbid you to mention my name in that classroom or show one glimpse of my personal property. And as for your professor, tell him I have a good mind to get in my car, drive down to Amherst with my pistol-handled butter knife on the seat beside me, and cut off his anthropological cord.
Now, Daddy.
I think your mother might want a drink.
She's reading to the children.
That's why she might want one.
She wants no such thing, Daddy.
Then I want one.
Now, it's not even 5.
Well, then let's go see how the Red Sox are doing.
Stop, Daddy.
Stop what?
Avoiding me. Ever since I arrived, we haven't had a chance to talk.
Good Lord, what do you mean? It seems to me that everybody's been talking continuously and simultaneously from the moment you got off the plane.
Alone, Daddy. I mean alone. You know I mean alone.
All right, we'll talk. Right here in the dining room. Good place, why not? Matter of fact, I'm a little tired. It's been a long day.
I love this room. I've always loved it. Always.
Your mother and I still use it. Now and then, once a week, Mrs. Robinson comes in and still cooks us a nice dinner. And we have it in here. Still, so, lamb chops, broilers.
I've left him, Daddy.
You mean a little vacation?
I've left him permanently.
Well, now, permanently is a very long word.
I can't live with him, Daddy. We don't get along at all.
Well, you think that now.
Can we live here, Dad?
Here,
For a few months.
with 3 small children.
Just while I work out my life.
Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's a little after 5. I think the sun's gone over the yard arm by now, don't you? And if it hasn't, it should have. I think it's almost permissible for you and me to have a little drink, Meg.
Can we stay here, Dad?
Make us a drink, Maggie. I like scotch. Make it reasonably strong. You'll find the silver measuring gizmo in the drawer by the trays. I want 2 shots, splash of water, and I like it in that big glass with a pheasant on it. Not too much ice.
Okay.
Saw Mimi Mott the other day, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dad.
There she was, being such a good sport with her 3rd husband. Her 3rd, who's deaf as a post and extremely difficult. Well, there she was. I took her aside and I said, can you hear me?
I'm listening, Dad.
I took her aside and I said, now, Mimi, if you had made half as much effort with your first husband as you have with the last 2, don't you think you'd still be married to him? I asked her that point blank. You know what Mimi Mott said? She said, maybe. That's exactly what she said. Maybe. If she made the effort.
That's your generation, Dad.
Oh, that's every generation.
It's not mine.
Every generation has to make an effort.
I won't go back to him, Dad. I want to be here.
And I wanted the glass with the pheasant on it.
I think the kids used it. Can we stay here, Dad?
I sleep in your room now. Your mother kicked me out because I snore. And we use the boys' room to watch TV.
I'll use the guest room.
And the children?
They can sleep on the 3rd floor in the maid's room.
No, we closed those because of the oil bills.
I don't care, Dad. We'll work it out, please.
Give it another try first.
No.
Another try.
He's got someone else, Dad. She's living there right now. She's moved in.
Well, fly back and kick her out.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, I'm serious. You don't know this. But that's just what your mother did. One time, I became romantically involved with Mrs. Shoemaker. Took a little vacation down to Sea Island. Your mother got wind of it. She came down and she told Betty Shoemaker to get on the next train. That's all there was to it. Now, why don't you do that? Tell this woman to peddle her papers elsewhere. We'll sit with the children while you do.
I've got someone too, Dad.
You mean a little fling?
I've been involved with someone.
A little fling.
We've been living together, Dad.
Who's your husband?
He stayed with his girl.
And the children?
Oh, they came and went.
Sounds
It
complicated.
is, Dad. That's why I needed to come home.
Let's review the bidding, may we? Do you plan to marry this new man?
No.
You're not in love with him.
No, he's already married anyway.
And he's decided he's fallen in love with his wife.
No.
But you've decided you don't love him
Yes.
or your husband.
Yes.
And your husband has fallen in love with someone else.
He lives with someone else, Dad.
Sounds extremely complicated.
It is. It really is.
And it seems to me the first thing you need to do is simplify things. That's the first thing. You go to the man you're living with and ask him to leave. You sue your husband for divorce, hold on to the house. Keep your children in their present schools.
There's someone else, Dad.
Someone else.
Someone else entirely.
A third person.
Yes.
Oh, What was the name of that movie your mother and I loved so much? The Third Man.
Not a man, Dad.
Not a man,
It's a woman.
a woman.
I've been involved with a woman, but it's not working. And I don't know who I am. I need to touch base, Daddy. I need to be here.
I need a repair. Would you like a repair? I'll take your glass. I'll make both of us repair.
All mixed up, Dad. I'm all over the ballpark. I've been seeing a crisis counselor. I've taken a part-time job. I've been jogging 2 miles a day, and none of it's working, Dad. I want to come home. I want to take the children to the zoo and the park lake and the art gallery. I want to do all those things that you and Mother used to do with us. I want to start again. I want to start all over again.
I made one for your mother. I found the glass with the pheasant on it in the trash. Somebody broke it. Now, let's have a nice cocktail with your mother and see if we can get the children to sit quietly while we do.
You don't want us here, do you, Dad?
Of course we do, darling. A week, 10 days, you're most welcome.
I can't go back, Dad.
Neither can I, sweetheart. Neither can I.
I don't know whether to eat or not.
What's the trouble, Mother?
I don't know whether to eat or not. Your father and I were in the living room having a perfectly pleasant cocktail together when all of a sudden that telephone rang and I was holed up in the bedroom talking away.
Who is he talking to?
I don't know. I don't even know. I think it's somebody from the club.
Are we eating or not?
I simply don't know. I don't know whether to eat or not, Bertha. Mr. Thatcher is on the telephone.
Couldn't we at least start the soup?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's just wait 5 more minutes, Bertha.
Yes, Mrs.
Honestly, that stupid telephone, I could wring its neck. It should be outlawed. It should be banned between 4 and 6 in the evening.
I've got to go.
Go where?
Out.
You mean you can't even have some of Bertha's nice celery soup?
I can't even finish my cocktail. Something very bad has happened.
Bertha, would you mind very much putting the soup back into a saucepan and keeping it on a low flame? We'll call you when we're ready.
Yes, Mrs.
What is the matter?
Henry was insulted down at the club.
Insulted?
Uncle Henry?
Binky Byers made a remark to him in the steam bath.
What did he say, Dad?
Yes, what did he say?
I believe I was speaking to your mother. Binky made a remark, and apparently a number of newer members laughed. Poor Henry was so upset he had to put on his clothes and leave. He called me from Mother's.
Oh, no.
I telephoned the club. I spoke to several people who were in the steam bath. They confirmed the incident. I asked to speak to Binky Byers. He refused to come to the telephone. So I've got to do something about it.
Oh, dear.
Won't you tell us what he said to Uncle Henry, Dad?
I will not. I will not dignify the remark by repeating it.
Oh, come on, Dad, we're not babies.
Yes, Standish, really.
He said, Claire, I want you to leave the room.
Why? I'm older.
Standish, she should know. Everybody should know. These are different times. Bertha, we're not quite ready yet. No, go ahead. Be frank, Standish. This is a family.
Mr. Byers made an unfortunate remark having to do with your Uncle Henry's private life.
I'm afraid you're going to have to be more specific, darling.
Mr. Byers, who had obviously been drinking since early afternoon, approached your Uncle Henry in the steam bath and alluded in very specific terms to his personal relationships.
What personal relationships?
His associations with the outside world.
I don't get it.
Dear, Mr. Byers must have made an unfortunate remark regarding your Uncle Henry's bachelor attachments.
You mean Uncle Henry's a fruit?
I will not have that word in this house.
I was
Just got it from school, dear.
I don't care if you got it from God. I will not have that word in this house. The point is, my own brother has been wounded at his club.
But what can you do about it?
Go down there,
To your mother's?
to the club. I will demand a public apology from Binky in front of the entire grill.
But if he won't even come to the telephone.
I'll have to fight him.
Oh, Stan.
I have to.
Oh, Daddy.
I can't let the remark stand.
Can I come with you, Dad?
You may not. I want you at home with your mother.
Sandwich, for heaven's
No
sake.
arguments, please.
But Binky Byers is half your age and twice your
It
size.
makes no difference.
I think he was on the boxing team at Dartmouth.
No difference whatsoever.
What about your bad shoulder? Oh, your hernia.
I'm sorry. I imagine I shall be seriously injured, but I can't stand idly by.
Oh, Daddy, please don't go.
The lamb will be overdone, Mrs.
It's a lovely lamb, Standish.
Now listen to me, all of you, and you too, Bertha. There is nothing I'd rather do in this world than sit down with all of you at this table and have some of Bertha's fine celery soup, followed by a leg of lamb with mint sauce and roast potatoes. Am I right about the sauce and potatoes, Bertha?
Yes, sir.
There is nothing I'd rather do than that, but I have to forego it. My own brother has been publicly insulted at his club, and that means our family has been insulted. And when our family has been insulted, that means that this table, these chairs, this room, and all of us in it, including you, Bertha, are being treated with scorn. And so, if I sat down with all of you now, I wouldn't be able to converse. I wouldn't be able to laugh. I wouldn't be able to correct your grammar, David. I wouldn't be able to enjoy your fine meal, Bertha. I wouldn't even be able to kiss my handsome wife goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Winkins.
Bye, Daddy.
Goodbye, David.
So long, Dad. Good luck.
Goodbye, Bertha.
Goodbye, sir. God bless you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Of course we can't eat now, Bertha. Make something for yourself and let people raid the icebox later.
Yes, Mrs.
The kids can have lamb hash on Saturday.
Yes, Mrs.
David, you and I are going down to the club and waiting for the outcome in the visitors' lounge.
Okay, Mother.
So get a book. Get a good book. Get Ivanhoe. We could be quite a while. Claire, I want you to stay here and hold the fort.
All right, Mother.
Get on the phone with Dr. Russell. I don't care if he's having dinner or in the operating room. Have him down to the club to give your father first aid. And then study your French.
Right.
Mother? What, for heaven's sake?
Is it true about Uncle Henry?
Well, it may be, dear. But you don't say it to him. And you don't say it at the club. And you don't say it within a 10-mile radius of your father. Now, goodbye.
You talk in here. No one will disturb us. No one comes anywhere near a dining room anymore. Thought of sitting around with a number of intelligent and attractive people, eating good food, well cooked and properly served. That doesn't occur to people. These days, people eat in the kitchen or in the living room, standing around balancing their plates like jugglers. Pretty soon they'll be eating in the bathroom. Why not? Simplify the process considerably.
Sit somewhere, Pop.
I'll sit here. We can look out. There's a purple finch that brings its young to the feeder every evening. Now, I want to go over my funeral with you.
Pop,
There are only a few apples left in the barrel for me.
you've been saying that for years, Pop.
This time it's true, Dick. I want to do this with you. Your mother gets too emotional, your brother's not here, your sister gets distracted. So concentrate, please, on my funeral.
All right, Pop.
Now, my obituary. I've dictated to Miss Kovac down at the office, and I've reviewed it twice. It's thorough without being self-congratulatory. I mention my business career and my civic commitments, and of course my beloved family. I even touch on my recreational activities. I mention my lowest score in golf and the size of the sailfish I caught off the keys. Now the papers want to cut both items, but don't you let them.
Okay, Pop.
And I want them to print this picture. It was taken when I was elected chair of the Symphony Drive. I don't look too young to die, or too old that it won't make any difference.
All right, Pop.
Now, I want the funeral service to be announced for 3 days later. This will give people time to postpone their trips and adjust their appointments. I want the service to start promptly at 3:30 p.m. This allows people to digest their lunch and doesn't obligate us to feed them dinner. I want the service to be held in the church. Mr. Fairweather may want to move it to the chapel, but don't you let him. I've lived in this city my entire life, and I know a great number of people. I want them to all have a seat and feel comfortable. You see people milling about the door, you go right up to them and find them a seat, even if they have to use folding chairs.
Yes, Pop.
And I want this music played. This Bach, this Handel, this Schubert. All lively, you'll notice. Nothing gloomy, nothing grim. And I want the service to start with a good, rousing hymn. Onward, Christian soldiers. Afterwards, Mr. Fairweather may make some brief, and I've underlined the word brief, remarks about my life and works. Do you plan on saying anything?
Me?
Do you plan on getting up and speaking?
I hadn't thought, Pop.
Then don't. There's nothing more uncomfortable than a reluctant speaker. On the other hand, if you, as my eldest son, were to get up and say...
Of course I will, Pop.
Good. Then I'll pencil you in. Brief remarks by my son, Richard. Do you have any idea what you might say?
No, Pop.
You won't make it sentimental, will you? Brad Hoffmeister's son got up the other day and made some very sentimental remarks. I didn't like it. I don't think Brad would have liked it either.
I will make it sentimental, Pop.
On the other hand, you won't make any wisecracks, will you?
Oh, Pop.
You have that tendency, Dick. Marcy's wedding and your brother's birthday. You made some very flip remarks about the family.
I'm sorry, Pop.
Too flip, in my opinion. If you're going to get into that sort of thing, perhaps you better not say anything at all.
I won't make any cracks, Pop. I promise.
Good. Because you love us.
Yes, Pop.
You may have moved 1,000 miles away and run off every summer, and you may be a terrible letter writer. But you love us just the same. You love me, don't you?
Yes. Yes, really, Pop.
Fine. Now at the graveside, family only. I want to be buried next to my brother and underneath my mother and father. Leave room for your mother next to me. If she remarries after I pass, don't worry. She'll come back in the end.
All right, Pop.
After the service, invite the people back to the house for refreshments. Dick, stay with your mother. She gets very nervous at any type of gathering and makes terrible decisions. For example, don't let her serve the people the good beef eaters, Jane. If all she's going to do is mix it with tart water. And after they've left, sit with her. Stay with your mother for a while, Dick. Please, stay with her.
I promise, Pop.
And that's my funeral. I'm leaving you this room, by the way. After your mother passes, the dining room goes to you. It's the best thing I have to offer by far.
Thanks, Pop.
Now we'll rejoin your mother. I'll leave this in the safety deposit box on top of the will and the stock certificates. The key will be in my left bureau drawer. You didn't see the Finches, did you?
Yes, I did, Pop.
You did when I was speaking?
That's right.
Good. I'm glad you did.
Oh, Annie, it looks absolutely spectacular.
Thank you, Mrs.
Now make sure that the soup plates are hot.
I always do, Mrs.
But I think we can dispense with the butter balls. Let's just give everyone a nice square of butter.
I'll do butter balls, Mrs.
Would you? How nice. Oh, and keep an eye on the ashtrays, Annie. Some people still smoke between courses, but they don't like to be reminded of it.
I know,
Oh,
Mrs.
and before people arrive, I wanted to pay you. For you and for Velma in the kitchen. I've included your taxi, so you both can just leave when you're finished cleaning up.
Thank you, Mrs.
Oh, and Annie, I've included a little extra for you. Just a little present for all the help you've given us over the years.
Thank you, Mrs.
I better go check on the living room.
Yes, Mrs.
Oh, Annie, I heard some strange news through the grapevine. Mrs. Roman said that you won't be available anymore.
No, Mrs.
Not even for us, Annie. We've used you longer than anyone.
I'm retiring, Mrs.
But surely for special occasions. I mean, if we're desperate, can we reach you at your nephew's?
He's moving, Mrs.
But where will you go? What will you do?
I've my sister in Milwaukee, Mrs.
Annie, we'll be lost without you.
You'll manage, Mrs.
But not like this. We'll never match this.
Hang on, Mrs.
That was the bell.
I'll go, Mrs.
Women's coats upstairs, men's in the hall closet.
Yes, Mrs.
And Annie, thank you, Annie, for everything.
You're welcome, Mrs.
Lately, I've been having this recurrent dream. We're giving the perfect party. We have our dining room back and grandmother's silver before it was stolen. And Charlie's mother's royal blue dinner plates before the movers dropped them. And even the finger bowls, if I knew where they were. And we've invited all our favorite people. I don't mean just our old friends. I mean everyone we've ever known and liked. We'd have the man who fixes our Toyota, and that intelligent young couple that just bought the Peyton house, and the receptionist at the doctor's office, and the new teller at the bank. And we'd have 2 cocktails and hot hors d'oeuvres and a first-rate cook in the kitchen and 3 maids to serve, and everyone would get along famously. My husband, he laughs when I tell him this dream. Do you realize, he says, what a party like that would cost? Do you realize what we'd have to pay these days for a party like that? I know all that. But sometimes I think it might almost be worth it. Ah, Spirit, you made it. I'm so glad you could come. Thank you. I'm so glad you could come.
It's every flower mile. It's beautiful.
It's
like a movie set. We should have parties. Sparkly, yeah.
I'm so glad. Thank you. I hope everyone's hungry. 4 courses. Thank you very much.
To all of us.
To us.